Alright, hi. I'm going to be speedrunning an 90% of the simulator. This is gonna be the first run. And, well, yeah. The timer starts as soon as I hit play, and it ends as soon as I get to the hive, get to the new hive with the larvae. Backwards, move right, move up. I had more than 15 hours playing this game, which are mostly because of it's kind of like a sandbox. Like you just mess around and there's a bunch of side quests and you just it's kind of nice to move around and just look at bugs. But with the ability to skip dialogue and just focus on the story, this can be done in under 1 hour, which is exactly what I want to do. Like the idea to this run is sub 1 hour. On my first test run of it, I got 1 hour 10 minutes, but I know what I can do better, and I did. This is actually this is a post commentary recording. This is not live because on my first on my second test run, I like I wanted to commentate as I played, and it was a disaster. Like I get distracted too much, so I choked way too many times. So I kind of missed it, but I believe I already lowered the sensitivity of the controls, which are it's a very important thing to do, especially later on some of the races. It's like super important to do. Also, right now there's no like routes or anything. This is the first run ever, so I'm not like this isn't optimized. Like I'm sure I could map out a path to get the 20 Poland, but at this point I'm just trying to go as fast to them as possible. And I got Vitro there, so that Vitro can help me to get the rest. Vitro is the blue icon that allows me to fly a lot faster by pressing R. It's gonna be a really important resource in this game, in this speedrun at least. This part kind of messed me up because I'm supposed to just use Vitro, and usually I just need to like make a quick run of it, and then it triggers. But for some reason it didn't trigger at the first time, so I had to move around a little bit. It's no big loss. I did choke in this run 2 times, very slightly. It doesn't change much. One time in Funny Farm, I just got I got really flustered from the settings. I had to switch from hard mode to easy mode, I believe, and it was a disaster. But it's nothing much. And then on the fly, the fly following like with Kyle, it was really I got really nervous because my recording device, which I'm using an iPad, it seemed to only record for 46 minutes. So I thought it would stop there, and at that point I was like super like nervous because if it stopped there I would be doomed. So I kind of got too nervous and got to focus on seeing the timer. Fortunately, nothing happened. It kept recording, but yeah, I got distracted. Again, nothing much. I just lost once. This is going to be a very anticlimactic meeting. I remember the first time I was like, oh, cool, the queen, whatever, but skipping dialogue, everything is super anticlimactic. It's kind of funny. Now, upcoming is what's famously, or infamously really, a very hard mission, which is funny because it's the real, like the first real mission. fortunately, if you put this on easy mode, you don't get the timer, which is what makes it super hard. Because if you are on hard mode, having the timer on, it's a super tight timer that you're not gonna get like on the first time. Like it's really hard for you to get into on the first time. Um, oh dear, what happened? Oh, never mind. Um, oh yeah, I see what happened. Anyways, so yeah, if you have easy mode, you don't get the timer, so it's fine. Because otherwise, it's you'll probably lose on the first time. Like even I that had played it before, um, you can mess up really easy, and that's game over. Um, However, having hard mode is very useful for some parts, namely the dance missions where you have to dance because on easy mode there are more patterns. They're easier, but there are more patterns, which take a bunch of time. Whereas in hard mode there are like only three patterns. In easy mode it's five patterns, and in hard mode it's two patterns. So even if they're harder, they're better to save time. And also the fights, especially the ones with multiple enemies. On easy mode, like the mechanic is very different. It's just like kind of like a rhythm game. You'll see in a bit, and that takes a lot of time because it like you have to wait for turns and for the queues. So if you play on hard mode, it's just like a you can just go to town with the enemies. Like if you're good, you can just keep hitting. Um, so it's better, especially in the like when there's three wasps or more than one enemy. I think I switched between easy mode and hard mode like two times, and I should have done that twice because actually I forgot late in game. I kept it hard mode, and then I got the timer for a mission, and I did lose a bit of time there, but it's nothing much. I still got sub 1 hour, which is like what I was expecting. Actually, well, you'll see at the end. At the end of this run, I got a really weird glitch that I never had gotten before, and it's the reason why the timer is gonna stop not before the credits roll, but as soon as you get to the final cutscene, because there's a glitch that can happen, and it's completely RNG based. So it would be unfair if like someone did a really good run and then got the glitch, and then someone that didn't do a really good run didn't get the glitch and get lucky and got a better time than the person who did better. Anyways, this is the fight, and this is the easy mode. As you can see, like there's a bunch of 3-2-1s and all these queues, and sometimes you even kill the wasp. Like it's already at zero, but you need to keep going. Like the animation still plays, which doesn't happen in hard mode. So that's another thing. But for now, it's okay. It makes not really a big difference. So now I have Vitro. I have enough Vitro to get there, but sometimes I won't have enough. So there's like three ways to get Vitro. The first one is to get flowers of the same pollen. So if I just go around and collect white pollen and only white pollen, I get some Vitro, which will be really useful when I have to collect pollen, like the mission. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. The other way is to get a slurp up from a candy, which also takes some time because you need to slurp up. And I only do it once, which is necessary. But otherwise, yeah, it's sometimes you just don't get vitro and you just have to fly slowly. It's a better option. And the other way, which is the best one, there's a flower lady, which has a basket of flowers, of legendary flowers. And if you get a single legendary flower, you get vitro like completely full instantly. So I think I used it twice. I don't remember. But yeah, that's the best way to get it. But they're not as In the route, they're not as common. I really like these loading screens. They have very nice art. This is not my favorite of them, but it's very close. I hope we'll see. Yeah, I think we see my favorite one. It's a very fussy bird. Oh, here's the dance. So as you can see, I'm in easy mode, and there's 4 patterns, and they're quite easy, but still it requires you to like wait for them to do it, and then you repeat it. So that takes some time. So on one of the missions that has 3 whole dances, I'm gonna put it in hard mode, so it becomes way quicker. The upcoming mission um, is the one that I had trouble the most at the beginning because it's kind of janky. I mean, races, you need to catch the bee. There's 2 kind of races. There's one in which you just have to follow the bee and you just get to a point at the end, and there's other kind which is you have to race the bee, and it's like a loop, but you have to get really close to the bee. Once you get close to the bee, the mission is over. So the way it works is that my bee has like a radio, and if the other bee is within that radio, I cut it. So in theory, I should be able to just be like get over her, or like be way more like be quicker than her, and just wait for her to come by. That should work, and it works sometimes. There's a trick that I attempted to do a lot of times here. That is, I just start the race, I get a bunch of vitro, and then I purposefully die. And then in my next attempt, I have full vitro, so I can just go really fast and catch the beat immediately. But on my second test run, I did that, and it didn't work. I have no idea why it didn't work, but it didn't work for like 5 times. I lost like 15 minutes. It was really bad, so I had to reset. So I just decided to just go along with with what the game is supposed to play. So I just go do a full loop and then get her. Oh, here, I got the legendary pollen, but since I got the 2 of them before, I had to wait for them to respawn, which isn't ideal. That was my bad. I usually just get one, and then when I need to do the mission, I get the other one, and that's the optimal route. So right there, I got one of the arrows. That's the things that give me vitro. So in my first test runs, I just got a bunch of them. After a while, there's like 2 here. Yeah, I got these 2, and then I killed myself. Like I just went the other way until I lost. So to start the race. But yeah, apparently it's too risky. But it is a cool trick to pull off when it works. On my first test run, it worked the first time, so I was hopeful. But anyways, I still wanted to see the sea lion. About here is where the loop starts, and I get enough vitro to catch her. Like that's what's supposed to be. Sometimes it doesn't work though. Sometimes you need to like wait until the cave. It can vary. That one cactus. Always For some reason, it was really hard to get the pollen off the cactus. Uh, I was really nervous to just bump into it because that always happened. But I did very well here. Now here's the first time that I show the fast travel, which is a tool that we are going to use a lot. Um, you do need to wait for the prompt of the mission to go away in order to use the fast travel. But once you do, you can just fast travel. There's some places where it's not as good. Like you can like when you're close to the hive, it's just better if you just go because the loading screens do take some time. But especially late in game, there's a bunch of places that are very far away, and fast travel saves our lives. This is a part that I also messed up a bunch, especially when I tried to commentate because it's just you need to come in and you have to buy the statue and then you have to read a bunch and then you can skip it. It's very input sensitive, and I just kept spamming A, and that isn't the way to go because you just keep looking at the B and the entry, and yeah. But this time I did fine. This is one of the parts that I feel like would benefit a lot by mapping them, like really design a route to get all this 50 pollen, and afterwards you need 20 rare pollen, because I do feel like I waste some time, um, just looking around. I mean, as I said, this is the first one ever, so I'm not super focused on optimizing it. I hope more people are in like attempt this run because, well, for one, I want to see more people play this game. It's very charming. Um, but also, I actually had a lot of fun speedrunning. Since it's perfect for speedrunning really because the story is kind of short, and the controls are fun. So I had a lot of fun speedrunning this game. The music is very nice too. This is a very good track, but it's not my favorite one. My favorite one is the one in when you do the dance missions. But since we're speedrunning, we never let those songs play for very long. But when I play by myself, I get the mission, and I don't go flying to the flower like to complete the mission, but I just go to the ground and start walking, which takes a lot more time than flying. But I get to listen to the song a little bit longer. Oh, also, when you have full pollen, you become a tiny bit slower. So I'm gonna later on, I'm gonna try to uh, put back my pollen on the hive as frequently as I can because yeah. This is my favorite one. There we go. That's my favorite loading screen. It's a really cute bear. Look at that fluff. So fuzzy. Now I did start to kind of map out a route of this one because at the end, I mean not at the end, but outside of this one lot, like near the farm, there's like 5 green flowers, super tight. So like the ideal route is get all the ones from here without straying too far. I do this loop here, and then I go to the farm, and that's it. And I don't have to. I'm still close to the hive. Again, of course, it's not optimized, but it's the beginning. Yeah, this patch. This is what I'm talking about. There's two over here, and then there's like 5 or 6 very tightly together. Oops. These guys. Here's a fight that I tried before to do it on hard mode, but I'm still not sure if it's better because the thing is that this is just one guy, but he's very strong. He has 250 HP. So like I didn't test it like scientifically, like with timers on both ends, but to me it didn't seem like a big difference. So yeah, I just go in easy mode. Sometimes you fail in these like prompts. I think I failed here once. Oh no, maybe next time. But you fail. So if you fail, you can either take damage or don't do damage. And what you want to happen is like take damage because you can take some hits. But if you don't hit them, then that's time lost. Whereas if you get hit, you just get hit. It's okay. You won't die. There, that's what I was talking about. You see how they dropped to 0, but it was like a special attack, so they had to keep going. On hard mode, when they're on like 1 HP left, you can keep hitting, and even if they shield, they still take like a tiny bit of damage, and that kills them. You can customize your V to a bunch of different species. There's like shiny glossy bees from South America. There's the longhorn bee. There's like other color bees, very fluffy bees, and there you can also put them hats. So like a traffic cone, and there's like a wizard hat. And there's a bunch of like seal stuff, and I wanted to like do this, just sort of side points, but yeah, I just never got to do it. I was too focused.
What's the point of collecting pollen if we're going to abandon our hive? We can't take it all with us anyway.
She does have a point.
Pollen? Ugh. I'm a bee. I love pollen, but I wish I could look for a new hive.
Up next is the first time that I switch into hard mode, because there's going to be a fight with 3 wasps, and it's way better to do it in hard mode. and I did pretty well. I actually failed like 2 times, but it's okay. Definitely switching from hard mode to easy mode on the fights, which are very differently, like very different mechanistically. Like it gets a bit of time to get used to, but yeah, I did fine. There I go. That was like the perfect UI managing, and that's exactly what I don't do. I did the opposite of that later on, where I just I don't know what happened to me. So you see that I got the shield broken, and that's super good because I do extra damage. It's mostly RNG based because if the wasp doesn't shield correctly, which is like it's a bot, so it's RNG. Um, but yeah, if you get that a lot, it's really good because you can hit 3 times rather than 2. And that was my special, which I only have on hard mode, which has an animation, but it's really strong. It takes like 35 points of HP, maybe 40. It's really good, especially for finishing off enemies. This is where I felt a lot. Yeah, this was awful, but I picked it up. Sometimes it can be quite tricky because, especially with the end game enemies and the optional side quests, the AI gets smarter and makes it like it jukes you a lot into thinking that it's going to attack from one side, but then they attack from another. So you have to be like very focused. Like there, like it was going to attack from above, but it did from below, and I barely caught it.
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah. This time it didn't read, which, oh, I think it only happened once. Is on some of my other test runs, it happened a lot of times. I mean, not a lot of times, but like 2 other times, and I just kept going over it, and it didn't like react to me. It mostly works, of course. I mean, it's just tiny little weird things. This game is otherwise very polished, especially for an indie company.
That's the place I was looking.
Oh yeah, this is my mistake. Yeah, I should have. So yeah, just look at me, just fumbling and being a complete fool. Like I just got lost. I look at me. What am I doing? Oh dear. Yeah, this was bad. There I go. I could do it. So yeah, I forgot to put in easy mode, and then I got the timer, and I'm gonna fail this mission. And then I got so flustered that I just lost my mind and just yeah, it was bad. I think let me see. Probably lost like 30 seconds doing that. That's a big hit. I mean, 30 seconds plus whatever it got me to repeat this mission. And even afterwards, like, I was still like shaking, and look at me, I just miss over some flowers, and I just keep going around them trying to get them. Yeah, this was my choke. It's okay though. I mean, so yeah, if anyone wants to improve it, this is where you have to improve it. Just don't choke. Look at that! I missed 3 flowers in a row. Come on.
I think I.
So here's something that I found out during this run. That is unfortunate because I didn't find out before. When you sting humans, apparently you can only sting them from above, like from on their heads or on their torso. and I thought I was going to be smart, and I tried to sting them from below, and it didn't. I didn't work. So I did lose a bit of time, but it's very tiny. The bully, just a kid. But yeah, I just went for the legs, and that was my mistake. I should have gone for the head, which I usually did, but I just felt like experimenting this time.
Run and never come back. All the pace.
Okay, so this is where I have to put in hard mode again, and I think I forgot until the first mission, because there's three dances. There's three beat dances, and if you're in easy mode, it takes a lot of time because some of them are even 5 patterns and stuff. Oh, here's a spider. This is a fun side quest. I mean, side mechanic, and I tried to like get it as soon as the green appears, but it's really hard to predict where the green is gonna be. So I failed twice, and then I realized that yeah, it's better to just play safe and just wait for the next round. So yeah, on the first two I did very well. I did predict where the green was going to be, but it's just it's very risky, especially if you fail 3 times. You get tangled up more, and you have to do it again. So yeah.
I'm trapped.
Oh yeah, I absolutely forgot. Oh well. So yeah, I got the 4 patterns, I believe. Yeah, I do love this song quite a lot. It's very charming. I guess that's the only good thing about using easy mode on a speedrun, but it is a speedrun. I shouldn't be enjoying the music.
Thanks. Now I know where to go.
Although here I almost committed a mistake because you see that those hexagon thingies, those are one of the collectibles, a B-fact, and they're kind of rare. So when you get them, there's like a whole animation that plays. So that would be a bunch of frames lost. So I had to go. I had to go back.
Over here. Please help me.
I didn't even notice I did the hard mode already. But yeah, so now in hard mode, you only get 3 patterns. It's always 3 patterns, but they're always different each time. Like they're not sequential like in easy mode. Like in easy mode is like the first pattern is like up, and then the second pattern is up down, and then the third one is up down left or something. Here it's just random every time, so it is way harder to memorize.
Now I can return.
I do enjoy these mini games quite a lot. They're very creative and feel like, I mean, like they don't feel forced. If that makes any sense. Like it's a big world, so it makes sense that all these things exist. So there's something that I found in here. There's two like entrances to get to the B here, and I just skipped the first one because every time I got to that one, like over here on the left, a bunch of rocks fell. So I kept going, but if I keep going, then the rocks fell on that one. So that it's like it's a very interesting mechanic. Like there's always going to be one of the entrances blocked. It just depends on which one you enter first. It definitely took me by surprise. Oh, this is a fun one. This is a race, but it's divided in three parts, and you can mess up in all of them. So you do gotta be a bit focused, but they're fun. Especially the third one. I think actually did I? No, I think it was in my test run. I don't remember. I may have failed the second one. On the third one, well, you'll see. I'll talk later. Oh yeah, I did back to easy mode because I knew that if I kept the race on hard mode, I believe the second part is like timed. So yeah, I just have to follow this drone because the beast things like think they're like a predator or something. They don't know what it is. You actually get to control this drone in the post game. It's really crazy. It's a really weird mission because like you find a bee and it was like, hey, we found the human with the drone. So we just trick him into like going away. So they like put pollen on his coffee cup, on his like teacup or whatever, and he goes away. And somehow like the actual bees go into the laptop and hack the drone, and that's how it's explaining world that you can control the drone because the bees hacked it apparently. So yeah, it's a fun mission. Okay, so here's the second part, which is the owl. I believe I'm not sure if I failed it this time or if it was in another test run. But yeah, it can be quite tricky.
Pull that out.
There's a bunch of beetle arrows that tempt you into going away, like into going
Thing, you must be so scared.
like away from the path. You don't trust those, especially later on the third part. There's a lot of them that if you go after them, if you go after them, you fail because it's way too far away from the path. So you just gotta know, like, no, I don't need that one. Also, this house is very special because you can't get them on the gallery, which you can get like there's a bestiary for every single like animal and creature and even the plants, but there's no for the owl because you can't find the owl on the wild. It's only for the cutscene. This third part is very hard because I would choke a lot. I would choke a lot on these rocks, especially because I want that beetroot. And yeah, those rocks are kind of tight, but I did it fine. Here, this one, this next one, there's this beetroot arrow. Can you like on the left? That was so far away from the path. Like who does that? Like if you go after that one, you lose. Like confirmed. Okay, second fast travel. This place we unlocked is very important later on because we will fast travel back here to get to the boat house quicker. But there's a really fun thing because the game doesn't expect you to fast travel there. You'll see. Bear, yay! I like him a lot. All this art, even the 2D animations, like on the cutscenes, are all very nicely done.
There
I
is
like him a lot.
I need to hide. It's not. It's gonna collapse. It's shaking.
I do wish I could show you the cutscenes because they are very charming. But it's speed time.
Maybe I was. This bullies are.
So here's where the funny stuff happens. So I fast travel to the boathouse. I mean, to the hills, because the hills are way closer to the boathouse. Um, but the problem is that the game expects you to fly from the hive into the boat to the boathouse. So that means you like the checkpoint is on the other side of this lake. So I actually have to like use the boathouse like straight up. That's where I have to go. But since the game expected me to come there from the hive, the checkpoint is on the other side. So I'm gonna have to go slurp up some cupcakes, get vitro, then go to the other side of the lake, and then come back because the second checkpoint would be here because this is the boathouse. So it's a funny thing because the game didn't expect me to fast travel. Also, here's a very hard part, like landing on foot. It's kind of tricky, which I guess makes sense because bees are kind of silly flyers. You can see them like stumble around when they try to land. So you do feel like a bee. But yeah, on my previous test run, I nailed it. I landed perfectly and got the beetle instantly. But yeah, it took me a bit of tries here. So here I come. I cross the lake, get the checkpoint,
There it is.
and now I need to go all the way back across the lake again. It's very cute. There's also a flower lady, like on the back of the house, which I could go to her for the vitro, but since I don't have vitro at all, it's way slower for me to get there while flying slowly. It's better to just get the candy here. Those tiny flowers, they're super hard to find because you think they're only one flower, but they're super important to get this 10 pollen quickly. And I missed them my first test run.
Yeah. There are no trees.
So I just got pollen there accidentally, and that was a mistake because that got me full pollen. So I am flying a bit slower now. It's really not that much, but I mean I guess it makes a difference.
You don't skip.
Nice.
So
I believe this one is the lock. Oh yeah, so the lock, if you come like from here, which is what you want to do, there's a spider web. So don't do that. You need to go all the way back here and then get it to just skip the spider web.
what if? Wow, I have so much pollen. Oh,
Here's where I was hitting the 46-minute mark. So I got really scared and I was like, oh god, is it gonna stop? Is it gonna stop recording? Because if it did, I would like cry because I was doing so well this run. So I was checking my iPad to see when the 46-minute mark happened and if it stopped. So I was like, yeah, you can see me stumbling around because I wasn't focused on the game. I was super nervous. I even got like
slow down.
my heartbeat was starting to. I mean, my heart started to beat faster and stuff. So I will lose to this race because I missed too many checkpoints because I'm too distracted. Yeah, look at that. I lost so many there. But yeah, I hit the 46-minute mark and nothing happened. It kept going, so I was happy. It's one of my favorite parts too. I like the fights. And flying around this kitchen is kind of
Are you
nice.
sure this is the way out?
Nah, dude. This is just a thrill ride. Just chill. I'll show you where to go.
Yeah, I just failed. And it was kind of late in it. Like I should have given up, like earlier, but I didn't have the
Dude,
foresight.
I'm too young to get smacked by a human. They really don't like us. We stink, you know. Don't ask what we eat.
Hey, are you sure this is the way out?
Nah, dude. This is just a thrill ride. Just chill. I'll show you where to go.
What the? Wow, I have so much pollen. Before, he wasn't kidding about the smell. It's actually getting worse. Ugh. Okay, it's clearing up. Must be close now. Phew, I thought hold on.
So this is the new hive. And in the future, this is going to like as soon as you enter this
This
place
place is huge.
with the other bees, that's where where the time will stop.
Oh, no.
So you'll see this place. It's really funny what happened this run. This is one of the times that I should have put in hard mode, but to be frank, I didn't have the foresight. And I thought, well, they're just bees. They just have 100 speed. It shouldn't be that bad. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I feel like there's a big time save there if you do hard mode.
Boss,
So this is something that the game, like, I should fly over to the hive, and the cutscene that happens is that there's too much heat going on, and it kills me, or at least it faints. It makes me faint. But since I traveled, there's a checkpoint before the hive, and then the cutscene will happen where I die, and then I get teleported back to the place where I was supposed to die. So then I have to use fast travel again. Things that I never noticed when I played normally because I never really used fast travel on my normal playthrough. Oh yes, thank you, human.
sweet soul.
Now, back to we travel. Alright, final chapter. This one's fun because, well, basically the hive is getting destroyed, the tree is taken down, and you have to help save the larva. There's a bunch of larvae that are going to die. So, on easy mode, you get 5 larvae, and there's no timer. You can just get them like on your pace. On hard mode, you get a timer, and if you fail that timer, nothing happens. So, if you fail the timer, and I did, I never could like save all the 5 larvae with the timer on. Like, it was really hard. So if you do fail, absolutely nothing happens. You just don't get the larva, and you just flee. So it just like, yeah, just let a larva die. So it kind of saves time because the timer is 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes the cutscene will happen. Whereas in easy mode, you need to save the 5 of them until the cutscene happens. And also, since you have the final larva, flying with them is a bit trickier because you're heavier. So overall, it's better to go hard mode, to just let the larva die and get it quicker. But I guess it's kind of like a save the animals thing on the Metroid games. Whereas I don't want the larva to die. It's a baby, so I want to take it with me, even if it costs me a bit of time. So yeah, that's the thing I want to do. It's mean to let the larva die. I mean, actually, a lot of bees die here. There's a really sad thing that one of them says. You'll see in a bit. There's like the elder bee, which is super nice, and she just like dies. So I kind of stumble around here because they're kind of hard to see the larvae that you're supposed to get. Like they're surrounded by like this white sphere, which is very translucent, and the place where where you have to get them is kind of random. So yeah, I do stumble a bit here.
The smoke is so thick, I can't fly anymore.
This one song is really good as well. It's very like dramatic. It also has like a tiny bit of like sorrow to it. It's very nice. The person who composed for this game apparently was the same person that composed for The Witcher, which is interesting. Where is the composer? I also like how you can see the smoke getting thicker. Like when you go to the tunnels, it's even harder to see each time, like each round. neat detail.
We've got all the larvae. Time to escape. Fly! Fly! Fly!
So this is where I got really excited because I really wanted a sub 1 hour, and I got it. But this was like 8. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get it. So it's kind of hype. Also, you can barely see. Maybe I mean, on the Switch it looks way better. I like this scene a lot because it's like the early morning. Um, it's very dark, but you can like feel the cold and the. It's a very nice like um, scenery. So here I am, and it's 58 minutes. I'm still like, am I gonna make it? And the box is like right there, but the beast kind of wanna go here for some reason to make it cooler. So 59. I was sweating. And as soon as you go through it,
Home. We're finally here.
which is the last control and time. Yeah, so that's the time, 59:21 seconds. So the thing is that when I did the test runs, like you can still control over here a bit, but here's what happened. Something really strange happened, and I look at me. I can't do anything. There should be a cutscene that would play, but no, it just lets me get out of the hive. And if you noticed, on the on the top right corner, it says like give a talk. That is a mission that shouldn't be a mission. That is like that is just like a cutscene. So what I'm guessing that happened is that I'm playing in the cutscene, like I'm on freeform while a cutscene is supposed to happen, and that's the thing because since it's a cutscene, I technically can't pause. I can't pause. I can't go to settings. I can't do anything. I'm just stuck there. Like I noticed the like all the bees and all the things that should like interact with in the cutscene are just like frozen. So I think over here I noticed the bees. Yeah, these are the bees that I am supposed to like tell them a story of the past, and they're just there, and I can't interact with them at all. So really weird glitch, and it did happen to me on my other 2 test runs. So that's why I decided that the time should be set as soon as you enter the new hive with the larva, because otherwise, yeah, some people might just get a really good run and then just get the glitch, and then that's game over. Because I mean, I finally realized you have to I had to leave the game, restart it, and then come back, and then that would let me play the cutscenes at all. But that's still like a bunch of time lost, so it wouldn't be fair. At least I got to document it because it is very strange. Yeah, I was super confused. Actually, I let me of the past take over because, yeah, I was so shocked. There's like the bees that I was following with the larvae. They are there. They're just stuck at the entrance, and they're just like shining and completely frozen. It's really really strange. So yeah, that's the reason why the time is on there. You'll see after I reset. You'll see the cutscene and you'll see like what you're supposed to get before the credits, which is when the game proper ends. But by all means, it ended. Like you got there, you did the mission, you did the final mission. Oh yeah, look at them.
What the hell? That is so weird. Something happened. Oh. I can't even pause. That's funny. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of time lost over there. I actually think like between me being shocked about what just happened and just looking around lost, and me restarting and playing over again, I lost like 4 minutes. Very strange glitch. I wonder what happens that I was spamming A. So like I didn't let the cutscene play. I don't know. But that's weird because it never happened before and I always spammed A with the cutscenes. Yeah, and now I get it. That's what
That's
it's
silly.
supposed to happen. You just get there and the whole cutscene plays.
And this is how we
So yeah, very strange. But yeah, there you go. That's Beat
Now it's
Simulator.
time.
A very, very charming game. I enjoyed it a lot, especially because, I mean, I'm a biologist, and I like insects, and I like bugs, and I've always wanted to, like, see the world from a small perspective, because there's so much of things that you lose when you're so big and huge. So this is exactly like my kind of game, and it's really fun. The controls are nice. All the missions, and especially all the side quests. There's so many side quests, and are all really fun. So yeah, it's a lovely game. I would recommend. And also, I really hope I get some meta going, because it was a really fun game to speedrun. It is like quick. It's very like you do need to be focused. It isn't like idle, and yeah, and I don't know, it's just fun. It was a very nice experience. I think I couldn't let all the credits roll, which I was hoping to, because my iPad did reach its limits of storage, and it stopped at one point. But I still got to show some of the credits, which are very lovely animated. But yeah, thank you guys. This was my 80% speedrun of Beat Simulator. Hopefully we'll see some more runs that beat my ass.